really interesting piece. Just great direction to be able to conceptualize and execute on such an abstract but also kind of familiar sort of piece. Just really goes together with the tone of it. I mean, it definitely feels like this, end of life sort of piece. It has a nightmarish dream quality to it. And it's just really interesting, just really brilliantly done, worth checking
I
out.
thought this one was really interesting. I like that it's entirely reliant on visual storytelling. I think that is, you know, it's not many people do it well, and it's a strong choice by the filmmaker. And it takes a lot of confidence to, have faith that the story is going to come across, and I think that it does. And it's shot really well. I like the color. I think it captures like that very dreary, depressing, tragic setting, and I like the opening sequence too. I thought that was a really nice
This
touch.
was a very moving film. I like the depiction of this man's life and the story of his family and the connection that they all have to his art. The interesting thing is that there's very little sound in this film. Nobody speaks a word, and there isn't even a musical score that the audience can rely on to know how to feel. But despite that, the film does such a good job of conveying all these emotions and this tension after this tragic accident. I thought it was a very creative approach, and it was very well
I
done.
thought this was such excellent storytelling. The slides of a life past, a life lived, these memories hurtling into space until the moment of the accident. Seeing the witnessing of one's own accident and interaction with this high stakes, traumatizing event, I thought was so rich with emotion and contemplation, and also allowed us to look at what memorializing a loved one's life lived could look like, and all of those memories that come crashing in. I thought it was very succinct.
A good and powerful short little movie. You really got a full story here, with basically like almost not no sound, but no dialogue. And you didn't need it. I like fully feel like I understood what was going on. And in addition to that, it wasn't just understanding what was going on. I went on like an emotional journey with him as he was kind of realizing what happened, realizing the kind of like decision or crossroads that he was at, and then acknowledging like what kind of choice he was making, and then making that choice and moving on. And I think that it's so incredible when you can pack so much in and have it be so like clearly understood in such a short
Very
time.
good piece. I love how it's just a few minutes long, but we get an idea of the entire history of this family leading up to this tragedy and how that all unfolds and ends up. It's very interesting. I love the use of the slides at the beginning, because we got all these quick snapshots. Through all these quick snapshots, we understood exactly who these folks were. That the father's an artist, that he's a sculptor, and he's made sculptures of his family, and that they've had this really wonderful life together. And then we see the car accident happening. It's really interesting because it's all kind of a out of body experience told through a dream, but using the art that he's created to let us know basically who the decedents are and who survives. Seeing the wife and the child, they pick up the sculptures that represent them. They go into the car. You're like, oh, these are the people who passed away. We just understand that. It's a really bizarre kind of use of symbolic imagery, but it's not too bizarre because it works. It's just I love how bizarre it is. It's bizarre in a good way. I mean, as a compliment. And then, it's really nice at the end. We understand that he and one of the other children have survived, because we see the tombstones, we see the sculptures next to them representing those who passed, and there's a resolve of them moving on with their lives. So we just get this whole history from watching this film, and having it be about an artist and having it use this dream or supernatural out of body experience, however you want to interpret it, let's makes us understand what's happened here. So yeah, it goes together. It all fits. It all works very nicely. So excellent job on this. Excellent, performances by the actors. Wonderful editing, snapping back and forth between reality and the out of body sequences that worked really well. Well directed, well acted, well written, good use of music and score. Great job all around. So I hope this gets out there and gets seen because it's a really good movie.
Oh, this was so disturbing, so sad, so interesting. The ending was fascinating to me. Very thought-provoking. Just makes you realize how short life is and how beautiful family is and how confusing it all can be. It's a fascinating film. There's so much to dissect here, and it's beautifully done. It's beautifully directed, excellent editing, excellent. The locations are very cool. Really interesting shooting. Like the cinematography is interesting, just with the use of light and the use of focus or lack thereof. It's fascinating. Really excellent. Thank you for making this movie. It's very, very good.